Okay, everybody, we're going to do something a little bit different today. I play chess from time to time when I have time available, that is. And I've been playing for a lot of years. And recently I decided to really push myself and try to become a much better chess player. So I play, obviously a lot of live games on, as you can see in front of you here, chess.com. I play a lot of people on there, and I decided, you know what, I'm just going to stop playing people for a while, and I'm going to take on a real challenge. And chess.com has computers you can play against. This is a computer player, not a real person. And as you can see in the upper left-hand corner here, they have this computer named Francis, but it's rated at 2300. So this is a very high rated player. This would be master level rated player. I'm nowhere near master level. But I decided to play about maybe a week ago to start playing one of their highest rated computers. They have other computers higher than this, but this is their freebie version. So I spent about a week playing game after game after game after game, maybe a week and a half, and getting crushed. In some games, it would beat me in 20 moves or less. In other games, I noticed I was taking it to 30 or 40 moves, and then it would win in the end, what we call the end game. For those of you familiar with chess and watching this, you know, bear with me as I kind of go over some of the basic stuff. So anyway, we're going to go over a game, my best chess game ever. And I was very excited about this game because, as you'll see as we get into this game, my goal was to simplify as much as I could, and so that the computer would not have the complexity, right? And use complexity against me and tactics and things like that. So I tried to simplify as much as I could right from the beginning and get the computer down and just at least get to the end game and see if I could, make improvements. So let's take a look at this game. Let me clear the screen here of a little. So first move, this is the King's Knight Gambit, is what it's telling me up here. Okay. And Francis there, the computer, 2300 rated computer against little old me. It's got me rated at 1400 down here. Okay, so if you look down here, you see I'm rated at 1400. Computer rated at 2300. Okay. Okay. It attacks. I decide to take. I choose not to take again because, I've learned along the way that sometimes development, some basic stuff here, but development sometimes trumps, taking material. Okay, knight to c6. It's got a pretty decent center going on already, but from playing this computer a lot, I learned, don't leave your king exposed. So I've been castling, pretty early, right away. For the last week and a half or whatever, it's been 2 weeks, the computer was just crushing me with a lot of deep pawn advancements, uses its bishops very well, a lot of amazing checkmates, just coordination, three-piece coordinations, and just, dominating me. So I learned a few things along the way to try to play a little bit more accurately. And by the way, I didn't use any, excuse me, oh man, what are you doing? Get out of there. I didn't use any hints at all. I had the hints turned off in this game. I didn't use any computer off to the side, no engines, nothing. This was straight up me against the 2300 rated computer with no help whatsoever, okay? Just for the record. Typical, right? It advances the pawn, deeper into my territory. You can see I'm not very well developed here, and my pawns are all sitting on the second rank. Okay, d3, bishop d6, knight to g3. Okay, knight here, f6. And I decided to go after this knight right away. Like I said, my goal here just from playing this high-rated computer, this high-rated for me, for other players maybe not, but for 2300 this is a pretty high-rated computer for me. I decided to go with the approach that I'm going to try to simplify this as much as possible, and let's see what happens. So my intention here is to take. Okay, obviously I have to block the bishop, otherwise I lose my queen. It backs up, I take, queen, captures back. I'm going to continue on with my development. Okay. Kind of a weird move there by the computer. I'm not really sure. I guess because it doesn't want to, you know, there is the risk of me pushing this pawn, exchanging pawns, and, you know, maybe getting an attack on the queen. I had two choices. I could either, right away I noticed, okay, I have opportunity here. It's either knight to e4 or knight to c4. I decided to go to the middle of the board, obviously eyeballing this bishop, and there's some other things that could happen here. Besides the castle, I'm definitely taking the bishop off the board. Again, very simple goal, trying to simplify, try to get as many pieces off the board, and get this to the end game. Moves its king, makes sense, because the bishop is eyeballing this f7 pawn. This is something I learned, again, from playing this computer a lot. Take advantage of this is not open, obviously, but it's probably going to become open, right? The E file is probably going to become open here pretty soon. So I'm kind of preemptively putting my rook there on the E file. Just again, this is something I learned from playing this computer a lot. There's some things that I slowly started learning that are good ideas. Not claiming to be playing the best moves here by any means. Okay. Pretty straightforward. Right now there's two pieces on protecting the E5 pawn. I've got two pieces attacking it. Okay. Okay, rook to C8. And at this point, 17 moves, you know, I'm not really feeling like I have any kind of big advantage or anything. I'm just feeling like I'm at least making progress. I'm surviving. I'm keeping my pieces, you know, fairly active. I wasn't too happy about, obviously, this pawn structure in the middle, but we're just going to keep playing chess. Okay, again, want to take pieces off the board. So I go ahead and do that. Takes back with the queen. Obviously, we had a rook and a queen attacking c2. So I just kept this basic and cover it. Protect it with the rook to c1. Okay, it makes a move there. I decided to go to b3. I was contemplating, for a little bit, contemplated c3. But I just, you know, didn't have a good feeling about it, so I went this way. Okay, queen comes all the way to the other side of the board. Big move. Okay, I push a4 because, to be honest with you guys, I was a little bit uncertain about what to do here. I gave this maybe like a 1 or 2 minute, not even maybe 30-second think, and it just wasn't clear what to do next here. So I decided to push a4. Okay, the king makes a move. I mean, here's at this point I'm like, man, what a weird move by the computer. This is a strange move. To me, it's strange. It almost felt like the computer didn't really have a good plan, right? I mean, to me, when I saw that move right there, I thought, wow, the computer's maybe it's kind of in the same boat I'm in. It doesn't know what move to make because the board just feels like, you know, it's not really clear. But anyway, I thought that was a strange move for the computer to make. Okay, now I decided to go to f2 because I'm thinking about getting my rooks here on the, or this rook I should say, the e rook up to e2. Okay, the queen comes back. I go to e2. Now I got 3 pieces covering this, and my plan was obviously to bring the rook over to e1 because I felt like these two were covering this pawn, and if I really need to, I could always bring the rook back. Okay. Okay, h3 by Francis here. Sure enough, I go to e1. I'm trying to figure out a way to overload this pawn. Okay. And again, okay, this right here, I really didn't know what to do. It was one of those things again. I'm like, okay, I don't know what move to make. I gave it a 30-second, 45-second think. This game is not timed, by the way. This game lasted about 15 or 20 minutes. So I guess you can consider it kind of a rapid game. But I really didn't know what to do here. I really was feeling a little bit uncomfortable about the pawn structure advancing on my king side, because this computer's whipped my hiney so many times with these pawns. So I was a little concerned. I decided, you know what, h3. Admittedly, wasn't 100% sure what to do there with that move, so I just went with that. Knight to h1. Okay. I wanted to get at least some activity for my queen. I just felt like I needed to do something, so I got the knight pulled back to h1. Okay, now I've got 3 pieces attacking this pawn, and I was almost 100% sure that the computer was going to push to f4. It didn't. It didn't push to f4. And then I realized, well, I was about to take rook take pawn, and I realized, well, then it's going to do f4. So I had to give this a good think, and I thought, well, that's probably not a good idea, because my queen would be under attack, and I would have both a rook and a queen attacking my rook. So yeah, the computer, very clever, right? I mean, this like tempted me to take this pawn. I said, no, this isn't going to work. I sat here for quite a while, guys. I don't know how long. I sat here for several minutes looking at this position, and I realized it was a mistake to take. At least I felt that it was, so I didn't take it. So I pushed to h4. It came up. I'm like, okay, no problem. I almost made a mistake right here and believe it or not, I almost made a mistake and put my queen on one of the white squares here. Yeah, silly stuff. But I made a move to queen to f2. And I'm just kind of shocked here that it didn't take this pawn. But I guess its king would have been exposed. But I just felt like, my goodness, why didn't it take and come over here and start putting pressure on my king? But I guess its king would have been more exposed than mine in this case. I decided to take. I just feel like they're right there, guys. When I took this pawn, and now we're on move 31, and I'm still in this game against this 2300 rated computer, okay? I'm still in the game. And the pieces are even, and the position, well, you know, I'm a little cramped on the white side, but I'm still in the hunt here. I still have a chance to play good and keep this thing going. And then when I took that pawn right there, I felt a little bit of confidence in this game. I felt like that, you know, there was a little bit of momentum in my favor. Okay, I came back to f1. I admit this this move by black made me nervous. Okay. And this was another thing. I had to take I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 minute think on this move. I wasn't sure pawn or knight. Ultimately, I felt like knight was better because it would give my king some breathing room here. Okay, I preemptively made this king move because I didn't want to deal a check. I figured if it checks me here, again, this was another move right here where I probably thought for about a minute or two, maybe even 3. But after looking at this for a while, I realized I think the best I could do is just get a draw by continually putting me in check back and forth between, you know, H2 and H4. So I was very interested to see what it was going to do. So I went here. Sure enough, it checked me. I came back. I thought it would check me again, but it didn't. That'd be very human, right, to come down here and check. But it didn't do that. It pushed this pawn. And I looked at this for a long time, and another minute or two think here, and I thought, there's no way I can allow this pawn to get to h3. Just can't allow it. So I decided to take, if I remember right here. Yeah. The rook came up, and this is one of those moves that, again, I learned from just playing the computer a lot. Cannot allow this pawn to get to to f3. Just can't allow it. So I decided, you know, queen queen to f3 and just blockade that pawn. Okay, still felt like the queen could come down here and check, and I could go here, then he would check, and I really thought at some point that the black was going to go for a draw. And maybe there's a way to get out of this draw, even though at the moment I can't think of it. This, guys, to me, felt like a desperation move by the computer. This just felt desperate. I mean, I don't know what you guys think. Leave a comment down below. I just felt like this was kind of a desperation move. You know, black's like, I don't know why, maybe advance a pawn, but I just feel like black's, that was desperate. I'm like, it didn't take me long to realize I'm definitely taking it back with my rook. Because his king is very exposed. There's no pawns here anymore to protect the king. And at this point, let me clear the screen here. You'll notice down here, at this point, I'm up 2 pawns. And I've been up 2 pawns before with this computer at 2300, but it always came back and whooped me in the endgame. Because my endgame tactics stink, you know. But this time I'm like, you know what? I got a real chance of at least taking this game to, 50, 60 moves at least. And, I'm not a master level player, but just looking at this position right here, I'm like, man, black is in trouble. I mean, black is in trouble. That's what I'm looking at. And the only thing it's got is best I can tell, is it's got a draw. And now, I think at this point, it waited too long, because if it checks me here, I go here. If it comes back, I think I can get away from the draw and just, come over to e2 and make my way away from perpetual checks, Okay, so it finally moves the pawn, and I thought personally that's what it should have done instead of exchanging the bishop for the knight. At this point, I felt like it's game on. I got no reason to take this pawn back. We're going for it. We're going to check this king. And I was pretty sure I was going to use this other rook to check the king. And I didn't have checkmate figured out, but I knew that I felt like black was in trouble. Right at this point, guys, on move 40, my confidence is starting to go up. I'm starting to feel like, man, I'm up 2 pawns. The king's exposed. I just got to figure out a way to put this game away. And guys, I've never beat a 2300 rated computer before. I know it's not a person, and computers are different than people. I may not be able to pull this off against a person, but I was still feeling pretty good about beating the computer at this level. Okay, it checks, and much to my surprise, it blocks with the queen. Probably because there's a checkmate here that I just, I didn't take the time to think about the checkmate. I did sit here for a few minutes, maybe 2 or 3 minutes, thinking about how to checkmate this king. And then I just decided, you know what, I'm just going to simplify. I'm not going to throw away this game. So from here on out, I'm definitely not making the best moves, but I just wanted to win this game, so I kept it simple, took the queen. It captures back, I check. To me right here, it's super simple. We're going to exchange rooks. I thought it would come over here and put the rook here, but it didn't. And now I'm sitting here thinking to myself, it's game on. I've got this game. I was a little bit nervous. I mean, I won't lie. I was a little bit nervous right here, because I'm like, I'm about to beat a 2300 computer. Again, I know it's not a person, but still, this is by far going to be my best game ever. So I was a little bit nervous, but I was pretty sure I could put this game away. I wasn't going to let this f3, f4 pawn go anywhere. So I decided to take it off the board first. I capture on a4. This was just me kind of taking a couple deep breaths, capturing some pieces, and figuring out how to finish the game is really what this came down to. So from here on out, it's not a very elegant checkmate or anything. I'm just marching pawns. I'm not giving that rook an opportunity to either take this pawn or check me or nothing. I just keep moving ahead. Black makes a desperate move, and I realize at this point this game is going to be over. I'm going to win this game easy schmeezy, and I'm like, we're going to just not let this king do any stupid stuff. And from this point on, because I've done some pretty stupid stuff in chess, I'm sure some of you can probably be shaking your head yes, where you stalemate a player because you get in a rush and make some stupid moves. So I was very careful from this point on to make sure the black king had squares to move to. So I'm like, a check is good. Check is always good. Here I just looked at this. Okay, it's got this next move. Okay, yeah, it's still got squares to move to. Can go over here. Okay, I'm just checking to make sure I'm not going to stalemate this king. Okay, I give it a good check, and I realize from here it's over. It's a really super basic checkmate, and game is over, guys. And there you go, guys. I was so stoked about beating this 2300 computer on chess.com. Now, that doesn't make me a master, obviously, but it was a great win. 68 moves. I didn't finish in style, but I did manage to beat the computer. I am so excited about this. I'm going to keep on plugging away. I think it's about high time I pay for whatever their small subscription fee is for chess.com. And I think I'll go play on even some of the higher rated computers. But I'm going to keep playing this master level computer here. This would be an FIDE 2300 master level computer. I'm going to keep playing for a while and see if I can get a better winning percentage. If I can, and I start getting more and more wins more frequently, then I think I'll bump it up to, I think there's a 2500 computer, maybe whatever, or 2600, and I'll see what I can do against those computers. Hope you guys all really enjoyed the video. Give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment down there. I'll be really happy to answer any comments, or if you could please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I really like it. Talk to you all real soon again next time.